friends. I have the blessing today of speaking about the chapter Years in My Master's Hermitage in Autobiography of a Yogi. In this chapter, Yogananda gives us a glimpse of daily life as a disciple. This chapter is, in a sense, a living handbook on discipleship. And as such, it's an amazing blessing for all of us who are studying Yogananda's life or interested in this work, because we get the chance to see what was it like, what is it like to be a disciple of a great master like Sri Yukteswar. From the very opening line of this book, where Yogananda talks about how connected the disciple-guru relationship is to the search for ultimate truth, all the way up until this chapter, he's been searching for a guru. And that search finally finds its fulfillment 2 chapters earlier. But in this chapter, we finally meet Sri Yukteswar. Yes, he's encountered Sri Yukteswar, but we haven't really learned much about him until this chapter. And here we get to see, what is daily life like? What do the disciples eat? What does Sri Yukteswar eat? What is their diet? What is the sort of focus of their life? How do they go about it? And I wanted to highlight just a couple of points about discipleship and the need for right attitude. Because these are lessons that can apply to all of us, whether we feel we're disciples of a great master who is in the body or not. All of us need to learn to trust, and all of us need to learn to listen. Yogananda had to trust the process to stay with the search all the way up until he found Sri Yukteswar. And then he had to trust the process enough so that when Sri Yukteswar gave him an unexpected command to come to Serampore, to return to his family, that he was willing to go along with it. Even if he didn't understand or necessarily agree as a human being, nevertheless, he was willing to sort of suspend his human doubt and go along with it. So learn to trust. Second thing is he had to learn to listen. And by listening, meaning he had to not only hear the words of Sri Yukteswar, but apply them and stay with him. This is an act of attunement. In one point in the chapter, Sri Yukteswar scolds Yogananda saying, "You're not here." And Yogananda says, "But sir, I have listened to every word. I can repeat every word that you've said. And my eyelids haven't blinked." Sri Yukteswar says, "But in the back of your mind, you're busy building 3 buildings. And your architectural dreams will materialize later, but now is the time for study." Study was not always Yogananda's favorite thing to do in this world. Sri Yukteswar's first request of Yogananda was return to your family, which Yogananda had not wanted to do. He thought his life was now separate from the family. He was becoming a renunciate. He was obliged to return to his family. Second request was return to school. And again, Yogananda was not very eager to do that, but he was willing to try. So, first 2 lessons, trust the process, learn to listen, and then show up and try. And Yogananda kept giving us examples of that throughout the chapter, where he's working with Sri Yukteswar, where he's learning to interact with the other disciples, where Sri Yukteswar is instructing all of them and being quite frank with them. At one point, Sri Yukteswar scolded Yogananda in front of Yogananda's father, and Yogananda didn't appreciate it and went after Sri Yukteswar a little bit for it. So there was a dynamic living relationship there, but it was based on deep mutual respect and love. And all of us, wherever we may find ourselves on the spiritual journey, can learn from those examples. Namaste.